Seems to be. We're going to give the green light. Almost there. We'll get started in just a minute here. Let people have a chance to come log on. Our Twitch is not as happy, but c'est la vie. What can you do? Okay. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for being here. Lovely to see all of you, and Shabbat Shalom to all of our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We are going to go ahead and get started. This is our last Biddy Shabbat of the year, our Biddy-led Shabbat of the school year. So many of our wonderful Biddy board members are graduating high school this year, and so they will not be with us leading services next year until they come back for our Biddy Alumni Shabbat. And luckily, we have some wonderful Biddy board members who will be with us next year. So, and we're, and they're both in the same box. And we're looking forward to hopefully having our next Biddy Shabbat be in person. So before we get started, would love for all of our service leaders to introduce yourself. So Jessica, can we start with you? I know you're not a service leader, but you represent the people.
Yeah, so I'm Jessica. I'm the Director of Youth Engagement at TBT, and I have the pleasure of working with all these wonderful teenagers this past year, and obviously very sad to see many of them graduating, but excited for their future and excited to see them come back next year when we have Biddy Alumni Shabbat. And I will pass it on to Rachel and Eden.
Well, you're the president. You should probably go first.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Eden. I have been the president of the Biddy board this past year. I'm really sad that this is our last Biddy-led Shabbat, but I think it's going to go great. And I think all of our Biddy-led Shabbats this year have been awesome. And I'm so glad that everybody on the Zoom and everybody watching has really enjoyed them. And I hope we can keep doing them in the future.
I'm Rachel, and I'm the membership vice president on the board. I'm also a senior. I don't really have anything else to say. She kind of said it all.
Oh, yeah, and I'm a senior too, so we will both be graduating this year. And I'll hand it over to Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the co-RCVP slash SUVP this year for Biddy. I'm also a senior, so this will be my last until the alumni one virtual service. Yeah, and I'll pass it off to AJ and Sky.
We are the two not seniors. I'm AJ, and I'm the other co-RCVP and SAVP.
I'm Sky, and I am a co-communications vice president.
And lastly, Sophia.
I'm Sophia, and I'm also a senior, and I'm the financial vice president.
And we're also missing two board members are unfortunately not able to be here tonight. David Walker, who is also a senior, and then Sam Jevons, who is not a senior.
All right, thank you. So before we begin our yes, Amy, I see your message. Before we begin our welcoming song, I just want to mention one little thing about the Torah portion this week that I learned about from Rabbi Rachel Nussbaum over at Kavanagh. It passed along this teaching, that I hadn't really thought about before, but I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to share with you is that this portion is Parshat Naso, and Josh will be teaching us more about this Torah portion later this evening. But this is the longest Torah portion in the Torah, and it's varied, to say the least. There's a lot in the Torah portion, and there's a lot, and it's seemingly perhaps not all connected. There are a lot of challenging texts, but one really beautiful piece of text that we say a lot is the priestly blessing, which comes from this Torah portion. And the priestly blessing is often a blessing that parents give to children. It's the blessing that we give to be mitzvah. We offer the priestly blessing a lot, and it's one of our oldest blessings. And the blessing is written in the singular, which is not unique, but less common. If you think about a lot of the texts in the Torah that are talking to you, it's often you plural, you all, like in Devarim, in Deuteronomy, Atem Nitzavim Kulchem Hayom, you all stand here today before me. And so like we talk about the Sinai moment and the Michamocha moment. And so a lot of our narrative is written in the plural you or the we. And the blessing, the priestly blessing, is it's a singular you. So Yivarechecha, a lot of the words end with cha, which means you. And the teaching that Rabbi Nussbaum shared with me that I wanted to pass along is that one way of interpreting this is that it sends a message that even though we talk about that we were all standing at Sinai and we all were strangers or slaves in the land of Egypt, that each of us experiences holiness in a different way, and each of us has a unique path in our lives, and each of us is called to serve a life of holiness, to live a life of holiness in our own unique way. We each have a special purpose in the world. And a lot of the rest of the portion is talking about gifts that we bring as offerings to God, and things that we bring to help build the Mishkan, the portable tabernacle. And so this blessing reminds us that when you're standing there with one person saying that blessing, may you be blessed, that Judaism really sees the holiness in each individual. And so as much as we talk about that idea of the collective, that it's really important to remember that it's balanced with this sense of uniqueness that we each hold, and that we each have something different and important to bring to our community. So that was a really nice teaching. I wanted to share that with you. And I know in this vein of we each experience holiness in different ways, we each connect with the community, connect with God in different ways. So we appreciate you being here with us to celebrate Shabbat, and hope that you have different opportunities to connect throughout the service. So we're going to begin. I'm going to pull up our slides with with our welcome song, which was written by Chava Morell and Stacy Zizek Robinson.
Rabbi Molly,
Yeah, Molly.
there is something also special about the priestly blessing. If you can see it in the Torah, the shin, your fingers will actually, it's spaced so that the shaddai, the shin, fits in that spacing of the words.
Say it again. So the spacing of
the way the
words
Hebrew text is
Uh-huh.
written, you can take,
Oh.
you can take the fingers and actually put it in the spaces.
Ooh, very cool. Thank you. I've never tested that out. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Josh.
do 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 da. Come, come all of you, come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Do 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 da 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 da. Do 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 da 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 da. Blessed is blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessings. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessings. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Come all of you, come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Do 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 da 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 da. Do 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 da 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 da.
Ooh, we're lighting the candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechad likner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Before we continue with our blessing over the wine, we have a semi-regular tradition, when I remember, to share any simchas. We have wine is a symbol of joy in our tradition. So I want to offer in this space, if anyone has a simcha, something you're celebrating that you want to share. And then I was also would love if our graduating seniors, if you're willing to share where you're going to be going next year. I know we have some congregants who would love to hear that as well. So Rachel and Eden, can we start with you since you're right there?
Yeah, sure. You want first?
Sure. I will be attending Colorado State, which is in Fort Collins.
Yep. And I will be attending Western Washington.
Oh, would you like to say what we're studying too? I forgot about that.
Sure, would love to hear.
I forgot about that. I will be studying health and exercise science.
And I will be studying criminal justice.
Okay, wow. And Josh, are you there?
I will also be attending Colorado State in Fort Collins, and I will potentially also be studying health and exercise sciences and nutrition.
Okay, very cool. Sophia?
I will be attending Colgate University, and I'm supposed to be studying computer science.
Oh, thank you. Does anyone know about David?
He's going to Claremont McKenna. And oh my, I don't remember what he's studying. Sorry.
No worries. Great. Thank you. Anyone have any simchas that they want to share?
I have a granddaughter that's turning 13 on Sunday, birthday.
Love.
And then I have a wonderful friend, a family friend for years and years and years, and he's turning 100 tomorrow. So that's
Wow.
really very, very special.
Wow, Mazel.
Yes.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
There's something I could mention. This is Elaine Packman. I don't know how to get my audio to work. Well,
I hear you. I just don't see you, but I do hear you.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see if we do this. Maybe that'll work. Yeah.
There we go.
My granddaughter, who is 18, who finished high school last spring, decided to take a gap year in Israel instead of starting university last September because of COVID. So she's been in Israel since last September. And you can see I'm kind of choking up about this. She's had a wonderful year up until about 2 weeks ago. And then it turned extremely serious and life-threatening because she was in Tel Aviv with a couple friends. They were having dinner at a cafe. I think it was, I don't know, maybe Monday night or Tuesday night when Hamas started to aim their attack at Tel Aviv. They were able to get some protection in the back room of the cafe for a little while. And then I'm not sure how they knew, but there was a friend who they knew had an apartment with a bomb shelter a few blocks away, and they literally ran for their lives to get over there. They did that, and they were contacted in some fashion by the staff of the Young Judea program, who sent a taxi cab for them to pick them up, to bring them back to the dorm where they would have better protection in a bomb shelter.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first night. And then by bus, all 200 students in this Young Judea program were bused to, I won't even call it a town, an outpost in the middle of the Negev, Mitzpe Ramon, where they were safe. And they stayed there until this past Tuesday afternoon. They were bused back to Tel Aviv for 4 hours to quickly gather up all their belongings and then taken to Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport and had a charter El Al flight back to New York City, and they're now back home safely.
So glad to hear that she's safe. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's the Simcha.
Yeah. Yes. I knew that there would be a good ending because we're doing Simchas. Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that.
The best ever.
Yeah. Anyone else have a Simcha? Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Rachel and Eden to lead us in our blessing over the wine.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Right?
Yep. Should we do the full one? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher
Kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila lemigrae kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Kivanu bacharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh, HaShabbat. Amen. 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 Okay. Oh, my drink. L'chaim. L'chaim. Okay. Now we have our loaf of bread, our bread, because we don't have challah, unfortunately. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Yeah, well, thank you.
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
Please join us in L'chadodi as we welcome in the Shabbat. L'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu elecha miuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem tiferet v'hitila la 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 l'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nechad, ki hi mikor haberacha, merosh mikerem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshaticha la 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 l'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Hi toreri, ki ba'orech u'mi'uri, uri, shir daberi. Kevod Adonai eliknik la 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 l'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi, likra likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and face the doorway you entered from. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam bezikha u'tzevola, toch emunei am segula, Boika la boika la 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 kare. Lika likrat kala pene pene Shabbat mekabela. Lecha lecha dodi lika likrat kala pene pene Shabbat mekabela. Nikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Nikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai Nikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Nikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai Adir B'marom Adonai. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
stand up for this. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand, uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, la 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 la. And we shall love with all of your heart, with all your soul, and with all of your might. You shall teach your children to hope, to love, and to know what is right. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nor tehilo, say fele, nor tehilo. se fele. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. We're gonna do it one more time. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, noratehilo osefele, noratehilo osefele. And lie, one last time. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Shomreinu leChaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shlomecha I close my eyes, my thoughts they rise up to the sky. Another day gone by. So in my sleep, save my soul, you'll keep with each heartbeat. May my dreams be sweet. Hashivenu Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Shomreinu leChaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom. Anananananana Adonai Ananananana Satay Rivta
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hara, El Elyon, Murmel Hasadim Tovim, V'Karnei HaKol, V'Zocher HaSevot v'Imot, Magilu Gav Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'achava, Melech Hosea Mashiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayel HaKol Atah Rav Lechoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechayel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayel HaKol Be'rachamim Ramim, Somech Noflim V'Lofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekaye emunato lishane afar michamocha pal kivrut umidom ela melech mimit umekaye umasye Yeshua benemanata lechachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shem hakadosh v'shem kosher v'olam Rabba Hoshea Baruch atah Adonai Baruch atah Adonai El HaKadosh. Please take a few moments for your own silent reflection.
Yehiyu leratzonim refim heyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzonim refim heyon libi lefanecha. Adonai turi, Adonai turi, Adonai turi vegoali. Adonai turi, Adonai turi, Adonai turi vegoali. Yehiyu leratzonim refim heyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzonim refim heyon libi lefanecha. Adonai turi, Adonai turi, Adonai turi vegoali. Adonai turi, Adonai turi, Adonai turi vegoali.
Thank you. Reach for you, O our God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. Let us stop the wheels of every day to be aware of Shabbat. Find the stillness of sanctuary which the soul cherished. Renew the covenant of an ancient people. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own deeds against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness from which we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with this strength, we will turn again to your service.
Thank you, Rachel. We're going to continue with Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace, praying for peace all over the world, and especially this Shabbat, thinking about the violence in the Middle East, in Israel and Gaza, and they're hoping, we pray that the ceasefire will alleviate the suffering. And we know it's not a permanent solution, but we hope that that will allow for more dialogue. And we know that there are so many places in the world that need peace, not just in Israel. And so we pray for everyone who is experiencing any kind of insecurity or harm in our world.
Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Huya ase shalom. Huya ase shalom. Huya ase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Roma. Oh, say shalom. Beam Roma. Huya ase shalom. Huya ase shalom. Huya ase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Beam Roma. Oh, say shalom. Beam Roma.
Thank you, Josh. In addition to praying for shalom, for wholeness in our world, we also take time on Shabbat to say Mishaberach, our prayer, asking for healing for our loved ones who are suffering from illness. And this Shabbat, as a community, we're praying for the healing of Valentina Darakovsky, Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Myra Masig, Patricia Shapiro, Orly Sherman, Amy Thornton, Deborah Newmans' Castengay, Lindsay Robinson, Laura Armstrong, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Liliana Oxsmith, Hans Wheel, Phil Grinker, Pam Shane Johnston, Pam Shane Johnson, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Sherry Schnabel, Carlene Ackerman, Mary Wilhite, Ann Bernstein, Ida Marks, Elaine Packman, David Green, Margaret Nichols, Philip Oringer, Vadim Barzam, Edwin Shane, and Rabbi Johanna Kinberg. If there's somebody that you're thinking about praying for this Shabbat, I invite you to share the name of the person either by unmuting yourself, or you can also feel free to put the name in the chat.
Mary Brown and June Porter.
Nathan Whitling and his family, Greg Minerich, Corrine Clark, and Amy and Levy Samavici.
Let's join together in our prayer for healing, Misha Barach.
Shebera avotenu lehor habracham leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberachimotenu ehor habracham leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Today, just really quickly, I'm here to talk about this week's Torah portion, Naso. As Rabbi already stated, the portion Naso is one of the longest portions within the Torah and contains numerous words and teachings on things like the priestly duties, the priestly blessing, Rabbi already mentioned, what to do with the ritually unclean, and even, as Rabbi also mentioned, the consecration of the sanctuary. Today, however, I am going to discuss a bit more of a specific part of the portion in which deals with repentant individuals, specifically the idea of apologizing after wrongdoing. So in the portion, it states that when men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with the eternal, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong that they have done. Now, the simple words, I'm sorry, are ones that we utter a lot. Maybe you broke a dish in the kitchen, or you relate to an event. These words are spoken quite often. These words, however often they are spoken, often can hold a great amount of meaning for only 2 simple words, 7 simple letters. And as I reflected on this portion this week, I found myself reflecting on these simple words and their true meaning. To apologize for something, or to even, as the Torah portion suggests, admit guilt, can be difficult, whether you don't feel as if you are in the wrong, or you just can't get over the pride of simply apologizing for something that you know that you've done. These words are some of the most difficult words in any language to say to someone. So I want you to all to think right now, just for a moment, about the last time that you said the words, I'm sorry, the last time that you apologized to someone. And I want you to think about maybe why you said them, maybe the circumstances around the apology, maybe how you felt about this apology, if, maybe you were kind of forced to apologize or didn't feel like you should have been apologizing. I think it's important to reflect on these words, not only because, the portion discusses them, but really just the importance of a genuine, simple apology, I think, can be really significant. Again, not a thing that's easy to do in today's society. I think, again, in today's society, plagued with political turmoil, conflict, disagreement, I think we can all learn something from these simple principles of apologizing, whether it be a political conversation that maybe gets too heated, or even a simple disagreement on the roadway. I think that the words I'm sorry can provide connection to even the most different of people. I think inherently the words I'm sorry and apologizing are an inherent human trait. And I think, again, as I said, can help to connect people from all creeds, colors, faiths around the world. And I think these acts can be the difference in forming a strong relationship or breaking one. So as we end the night, I challenge you all, the next time you are apologizing for something or feel that it's your responsibility to say those words, I'm sorry, I just want you to think about it, how you feel, maybe, why you're apologizing or what you're apologizing for. And I urge you all to don't, as often as these words are said, to not take them lightly, and to really mean what they say when you're uttering the next time. So thank you again, and have a good night.
Shukok, Josh, Tadar Rabah. I love that you focused in on this verse, and another thing that's striking to me about this is that the way you're reading it, I also read that our Torah is teaching that there's something sacred about saying you're sorry. Like we often, I don't know, I often, just speak for myself, but I often associate with saying I'm sorry with like a feeling of shame or guilt. Like, I mean, the assumption is if you're saying sorry that you did something that you're maybe not proud of. And that the idea that that is also part of what makes us whole as human beings, and it's part of the human experience, and that too is part of what it means to live a life of holiness, to lean into those moments when we have to say sorry. I think it's a really beautiful part of our tradition, because there are a lot of cultures that might teach that you need to be strong and not admit that you made a mistake, but our tradition teaches us that we have a responsibility to reflect and admit our mistakes. So I really love that you focused on those verses. Thank you. We are going to continue now with Aleinu. I'm going to pull our slides back up, and if you are able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'tekru l'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzon, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam kelchenu kachem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thank you, Eden. Our thoughts turn now to loved ones that we've lost either recently or at this time in years past. And on this Shabbat, as a community, we are mourning the recent loss of Ana Rosa de Quijada and Jose Luis Quijada, the mother and father of Nestor and Nelson, as well as Erwin Kriegsman, the father of Trudy Casey. In our community, we are mourning the loss of Michael Circumpool. The Jewish tradition is that you start saying Kaddish for somebody after they've been buried. So we'll start saying Kaddish officially for Michael this next Shabbat. This Shabbat, we are also observing the Yartzites and remembering Berger, Byrne, Richard Crane, Herbert O. Crane, Esther Fallick, Aaron Fox, Ronell Gilson, Julie Kaufman, Frank Kukla, Muriel Leventhal, Samuel Mosler, Beatrice M. Nass, Kitty Nyer, Ann Piddle, Jeremy Portman, Calvin P. Schnell, Pauline Stone, Charlotte A. Weil, and James Williamson. If you are saying Kaddish this Shabbat, if you're remembering a loved one, if you want to share anything about that person to help bring their memory into this communal space so that we can support you in your mourning, or if you want to share the name of the person you're remembering, I invite you to either unmute yourself or share in the chat.
One of my coworkers, Hugh Nguyen, died on Monday in a tragic car accident.
Sorry.
We're remembering Jeremy Portman
and Frank Kukla today, 2 Yartzites.
Thank you, Michael and Karen. And thank you for what you wrote in the chat.
Yeah, say Jeremy was in the Navy.
Want everyone to know Jeremy was in the Navy.
He served his country.
Honorable
for our freedoms.
Fought for our freedom.
Thank you. We join together as one community in the words of our mourners Kaddish. If you are able, please rise as we join together with our mourners. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me rabbah, ve'alma divrach yote, ve'amlich malchute, v'chayachon u'yomechon u'chaye de kol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Ulmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chaim alinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Say shalom b'ramah. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to the world, and be a source of comfort to the bereaved. And we say together, Amen. Before we join together in our closing song, I want to offer Michael, our board representative, a moment if you want to share anything. And thank you for being here, Michael, and helping with all the tech fun.
Oh, no problem. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And I just want to thank the members of Biddy for the service. And I really appreciated it. And also hearing where those who are leaving, who are going next year, wish you the best. Don't have too much to say, except I wanted to remind everyone about the annual meeting on Wednesday, the 26th at 7 p.m. There's the Zoom link was emailed out. Be great to see as many people there as possible, because we'll be voting on the budget and the incoming board, and saying goodbye to members of the old board. And it'll be hopefully the last one we'll be doing on Zoom, but we'll see. And preceding that will be the Sisterhood general membership meeting at 6 p.m. So that's all on Wednesday. So, and again, the Zoom links are in email. So otherwise, just wanted to say Shabbat Shalom and pass it back to Rabbi Molly.
Thanks, Michael. See you all at the annual meeting. All right. We are going to conclude with One Day. AJ, I believe you're going to be leading us, right?
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, whoa, oh, oh, one day, one day, one day, whoa, oh, oh. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, whoa, oh, oh, one day, one day, one day, whoa, oh, oh. One day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same song, singing songs of freedom like way oh, oh, way oh, 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 way oh, way oh, 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 oh. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. Whoa, oh, oh. One day, one day, one day. Whoa, oh, oh.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you and Yasher Koach to our Biddy board. Thank you so much for leading us in a beautiful service. We are going to turn off the streaming now. So if anyone out there in the internet world wants to join us for an oneg, you are welcome to do so.